right, lesson 34 is proportions and ratio word problems. What's our objective, class? Get ready?
Proportions and ratio word problems.
Very good. Today you're going to form proportions from equivalent ratios. You're going to have proportional relationships. A constant ratio, we'll use some tables and find missing numbers. So a proportion states that two ratios are equal. That's called a proportion. What is it called? Get ready?
Proportion.
A proportion, remember we know that's a ratio. That's a ratio. If they equal each other, they're proportional. And you can check for proportionality by looking vertically or horizontally. So here's some ones with arrows. So if you look across, there's a relationship between the 2 and the 6 and the 4 and the 12. And it's the same relationship. That's what makes it proportional. 2 times some number is 6, and that would be 3. 4 times the same number would give us the denominator. So we see a factor of 3 in there. But you can also check it vertically. Whatever we do to 2 to get the 4, we would do the same thing to 6. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. 6 times 2 gives us the 12. And it can also work another way. Gage?
So can it, if it only works horizontally, is it still proportional?
Well, if it works horizontally, it should work vertically. But one's usually easier than the other to check. Sometimes you look vertically and you can't see a factor. You can't see an integer as a factor. So as long as you have one, it works. You can also check it diagonally. So you can cross multiply. 2 times 12 would give us 24. And 4 times 6 gives us 24. And they should be equal if it's proportional. So there's a third way to check. All right, let's look at this case. If you're parking for 2 hours and you get charged $3, and then you go and you park for, I'm going to try marker, 3 hours, and they charge you $4, I'm going to put a question mark here. Are those a proportional relationship? Are those ratios
Yes.
the same proportion? So let's look. I could look going vertically. Well, there's not an integer times by 2, so it's harder to see that. I'm trying horizontally, and it's not an integer either. So let's try our diagonal trick. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. Boom, not equal. This is not a proportional relationship. Ethan?
I know how it works though, because you have to pay $1 when you first get into the parking lot, and then every hour is $1.
I think you're probably right. So sometimes it's not proportional because there's a starting fee or an extra payment before the rate starts. Okay, so look, Nora's paid $12 per hour. Is her pay proportional to the number of hours worked? So if she worked for 1 hour, she got paid $12. If she works for 2 hours, how many dollars did she get paid? Annika? 24. 3 hours, think. Get ready?
36.
Good, thank you for listening. 4 hours. Get ready?
48.
48. So to figure out if it's proportional, what you do is you make a fraction out of it, right? A ratio. And we're going to do the output divided by the input, or pay divided by hours. Pay divided by hours. Pay divided by hours. Pay divided by hours. And reduce each one. Hey, 12 over 1. 12 over 1. 12 over 1. They're all the same. Because they're all the same, they are proportional. What about this case? So this time Nelson has a paper route. If he goes by himself, it takes him an hour. So he says, maybe I'll have a friend come. It's going to take me less time, right? So if only himself is working, it takes him 60 minutes. He has a friend come. Now it only takes 30 minutes. There's 2 people total working. Then another friend comes to help him out. So there's 3 people total. And they can get the whole route done in only 20 minutes. The question is this a proportional relationship? Well, let's make a fraction out of it. Time divided by the number of people working. So we got 60 minutes per 1 person, 30 minutes per 2 people, 20 minutes per 3 people. Are they equivalent? Let's put it in lowest or simplest form so we can fairly compare. You know, that one doesn't reduce. So those are all fully simplified. They're definitely not equivalent. So this is not a proportional relationship. Give me a nod if you understand proportional and not proportional. Okay, excellent. All right. What's cool about proportion relationships is it helps you find missing numbers in fractions. So if we have this proportion, we can use the tricks that we learned to find out our missing number. And do you already know the answer, Emma?
No, it's
Oh.
not the last
Okay, what?
example. It was, I didn't answer now. It was that, with the example, if it took half the time with two people, wouldn't it be logical for it to say, hey, so there's 30, and then divide that by 3, take 10 minutes.
Or would you divide the 60 by 3? And that's what they did, is they divided the 60 by 3. I see what you're coming. I see where you're coming from. Okay. All right. Let's take 2 eighths equals 6 over some number. Hey, we could work across, or we could work down. But let's look for that relationship. Who sees the relationship? Okay. Emma, what do you see?
So 6 you can multiply 3 times 2 and get 6. So you have to, whatever you do at the top, you have to do at the bottom, so you do that, and it's 21.
24. Check it. Is 2 times 4 8? Is 6 times 4 24? Good. We could also go diagonal. Very good. Let's try another one. Let's have you guys try one. Okay. 24 divided by m equals 8 over 5. Find the missing number. Put your pencil up when you've got it. All right. Let's call on. How about Kaylee? What did you do?
8 times 3 equals 24, so 5 times 3 equals 17.
Awesome. Straight across, you can see the relationship. 8 times 3, do the same thing to the 5. So it would be 24. And everyone... like, that didn't look right. I was like, everyone had 24. No, everyone didn't. They had 15. Okay, good job. Let's do a boys to girl ratio. If there's a ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 4. Or we could say 3 to 4. And we know there are 12 girls, so we did girls second. This is the girls. So now we know there's 12 girls. If it helps you put a G. This is a B. How many boys are there? Let's look for a relationship here. Let me call on somebody. Aubrey.
9.
She says 9. How did you get 9? You did by 3? Times 3 times 3. She's right. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, good. I think you guys are picking this up really good. We're on page 226. And take us 20 seconds stand up break.